Hello 8th graders, your new video is on solving systems by substitution. So there are three main methods that we're going to use to solve systems. We learned one method in the previous video, which was the graphing method. This one is the substitution method, and then we will do the elimination method last. And so first of all, substitution is exactly as it sounds it would be. A way to solve a system of equations by solving one of the equations for one of the variables. So in other words, there's going to be two variables in each equation. You need to get one variable by itself, and normally when you do these you get the y by itself because that's the output, and so you would plug something in for the input and get your output. It's just easier to understand that way. And so here I have an example right here of a system, and that system is y equals x plus 1, and then 2x plus y equals negative 2. And so then I'll go through the steps with you on how we're going to solve this. And so step 1, it says since the first equation is already solved for y, so the y is already by itself right here, y is already by itself, you can substitute what y equals, which is x plus 1, in for y on this equation. So wherever there's a y, you're going to plug that in. And so that is what I did down here. So it was 2x plus y, but instead of y, I plugged in what y equals, which is x plus 1. And then I just went ahead and solved it. So 2x plus x is 3x. So what I have left is, I combine this, 3x plus 1 equals negative 2. Okay, now I have this left. And so in the order of solving for an equation, I have to get rid of the 1 next. So to get rid of a plus 1, I'm going to minus 1. And if I do it right here, then I have to go over on this side and do it as well. And so since I have negative 2 and I'm subtracting another 1 from it, I get negative 3. So I'm left with 3x equals negative 3. And then I have to get the x by itself. So 3 times x, I do the opposite, which is divide by 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is negative 1. Okay. Once you have your x, you are going to substitute your answer in, which in this case was negative 1, in for x in either equation. And I actually did it in both just to show you that it does work for both. So my original equation was 2x plus y equals negative 2. So I'm going to plug negative 1 in where the x was, right here. So 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, and then I have my plus y equals negative 2. And then I'm just going to go ahead and solve the rest of the equation. To get rid of a negative 2, I add 2. And if I add it here, I have to go ahead and add it here. What is negative 2 plus 2? It is 0. My other equation said y equals x plus 1. And so wherever the x is, I'm going to plug in the negative 1. So y equals negative 1 plus 1. Well, what is negative 1 plus 1? It is 0. So do you see right here that I got the same answer for y on both equations? So my solution to that system is negative 1, 0. What does that say? That says that when I plug negative 1 in for x, I get 0 out for y. And that will work for both of my original equations, which were right here. And so now we're going to do one that's a little tougher. This one, right here, this is a system. Remember, 2 or more equations is a system. So I have 4x plus 3y equals 11, and I have 2x minus y equals 3. And so neither one is solved for y. So I have to solve it for y first. Otherwise it's not going to work when I try to plug my answers in. So 2x minus y equals 3 is going to be easier to solve than the 4x plus 3y equals 11. So that's the one that I chose. And so I need to get y by itself. And so since it's minus y, I'm going to go ahead and move the y to the other side because I don't want it to be negative. I want it to be positive. So it said minus y, so I'm going to plus y. That'll get rid of it, right? It's gone. Then I need to add it over here. So that'll leave me with 2x equals y plus 3. And now I can just solve the equation for y, right? So I need to get y by itself, which means I need to subtract this 3. It's a plus 3, so I'm minus 3. If I minus 3 over here, I need to go over here and minus 3. So now it says 2x minus 3 equals y. So have I solved for y? Yes. So now because I solved for y, I can go ahead and substitute this piece in right here. 2x minus 3, I can substitute that in for y in the other equation. So that's what I did right here. So my original equation said 4x plus 3y equals 11. And so wherever y was, I'm plugging this in. So I plugged 2x minus 3 in, and you can see here I wrote, what do you have to do? You have to use the distributive property to get rid of parentheses. So I take 3 times 2x, and I take 3 times 3. And so then the 4x just comes down. 3 times 2x is 6x. A negative 3 times 3 is a negative 9, equals 11. Now I'm just going to go ahead and finish solving the question. Combine the x's. So 4x plus 6x is 10x. So 10x minus 9 equals 11. I can't do anything with the 10 because it's connected to the x until I get rid of the minus 9. Minus 9, the opposite is plus 9. It's gone. If I plus it over here, I have to plus it over here. So 11 plus 9 is 20. Bring the 10x down. 10x equals 20. And then you're just going to divide by 10 to solve for x. So divide both sides by 10. What do you get? 2. So that says that x is 2. Once you have it solved for x right here, you can plug that into either equation. So here we go. My original equation said 4x plus 3y equals 11. So I'm going to plug my 2 in for x. 4 times 2 is 8, plus my 3y equals 11. I need to get rid of the 8, so 8 minus 8, 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring the 3y down, 3y equals 3. Divide by 3 to get rid of the 3, which leaves me with y equals 1. And then I went ahead and solved it for the other one just to prove that both of them will get the same answer. The original equation said 2x minus y equals 3. So wherever the x is, I'm going to plug the 2 in. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus y is 3. I'm going to get rid of the y because I don't want it to be negative. So I'm going to plus y here, and I'm going to plus y over here. That leaves me with the 4 equals y plus 3. I need to get the y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3, cancel it. Subtract 3 over here. 4 minus 3 is 1. So look at that. I got y equals 1, y equals 1 for both of them. So the solution is 2, 1. When I plug a 2 in for x, I get a 1 out for y. And I realize that's a lot of steps, and you might be scared right now. Don't let it freak you out. It'll be fine. We'll go through it some more next time I see you. So just make sure you bring that knowledge with you of what I mean by the substitution method. And we'll talk about it more next time I see you. Have a good night.